All right. What's this? All right.
We use it in various infrastructure.
Wait.
It's way more fun than if Kamala won, although especially from Europe. Maybe if you're European, although you guys are the ones that are going to be toast before us, so fuck you, okay?
Made us number one, we're number three.
No one knew the U.S. had natural resources until Donald Trump.
Number one in infrastructure at a time, in drilling. And you can talk about windmills. They litter our country. They littered all over our country, like dropping. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back. They should have never taken them. They should have been the attack of October 7th. They should have done that. But there was. And many people are killed. They're no longer hostages. I have people from Israel and others calling, begging me to get, we had also people there from the United States, just so you know, they're holding some so-called hostages from the U.S. But I had mothers come to me and fathers crying, can I get the body of their son back? Can I get the body of their... I think it's going to be, hopefully, a great leader, a great speaker.
I hope you find the path to peace. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Let's see what in fact, this war is for freedom, or freedom of the individual. So,
every single thing he says is just a fucking lie. But that's okay. Out there in a more nuanced manner. Most Americans don't see him in long-form podcast. Might as well be the new mainstream news today. This is just not a real question. Like, you said that you want to go and fight the Nazis in World War II, but didn't you force soldiers to fight? How could you possibly say you're on the side of freedom and life when soldiers are being forced to murder other people? Don't you see the tension? Like, no, this is not a real question.
the sacrifice had to be made in democracy, in freedom, in fighting this war. In any case, this war is for our freedom. Generally speaking, to be honest, when you understand, over time, when the war passes, you understand that your main values are at home. This is your home, your children, your love, God willing, parents are alive. And if
Wait. If your dentist recommends you to get a root canal due to inflammation around said tooth, almost all dentists will recommend a root canal. Fuck you, get tested more. You don't know if the nerve is dead or not. Just because you have a little bit of inflammation doesn't mean you have to have the fucking root completely drilled out of your fucking tooth. Get a test if you got the money for it. Fuck you.
Right.
I know you're part of the dentist, motherfucker. Email me your dental license. This is a dentist. The OP is always going to give you. He's also going to recommend orthodontia to every single fucking kid that walks into his office. That's a big dental ADA representative in chat. Mark him.
if not, you understand that your main values are at home. This is your home.
I don't know if he's serious. Like, it's difficult to know when he's serious and when he's joking.
Your children, your love, God willing, parents are alive. And if not alive, then their memory, visiting their grave. Choosing how to work, how much, preferably choosing where to work. All this is freedom. Freedoms are not just a desire, they are an opportunity. In any case, you are right because war is a limitation of opportunities. In any case, you fight for these opportunities. Your parents and God gave you life, right? You fight for your life. But we need to understand that first there's a war, and then martial law is introduced. Martial law is not introduced because someone wanted to. You say this is not Pinochet, and so on. This is a completely different story. An aggressor came, and according to your legislation, if the border is violated, if there is armed aggression, you have all this written down, long ago written out in legislation, you introduce martial law. And the introduction of martial law everywhere at all times means, in any case, a restriction of opportunities. If opportunities are limited, rights and freedoms are restricted, therefore the war itself restricts rights and freedoms. Yes, and you can't do anything about it. We try honestly to balance as much as possible.
My fear is getting any interview with you, a hugely progressive cock in the eyes of maggots, no matter how positive, will do more damage than it could do good. Democrats are already with Ukraine. Trump and his base are who we need to reach. Yeah, but you can't reach. You have to dispel the misinformation. That's what has to happen. You have to fight through the misinformation first, which I think is one of the things that I wish Zelensky had the opportunity to respond to, instead of explaining why martial law, when you're invaded by a fucking superpower, has no tension with fucking freedom. like we could ask a grade school history teacher this question. We don't need like a world leader who has been thrust into one of the most explosive wars in European history.
We try honestly to balance as much as possible. I believe that the business sector works despite the difficulties of the war, and we do everything somewhere. There somewhere to reduce some load. Unfortunately, we cannot reduce taxes. On the contrary, a military tax is used for war. You need to take money somewhere. This, by the way, is about the fact that the US gave us a lot, and Europe too. But compared to how much we needed for the war, this is not all. As for military salaries, you know that we could not pay the salaries of a million-strong army. We could not pay it using the money from our partners. These are all expenses. This is all the money that the country and people have accumulated. You can't do anything. I really want to reduce taxes. I will tell you frankly. I really want to. Well, I think that the whole new tax system, new deregulation, new steps, new reforms, all this.
Do you think conspiratorial right will believe any answers Zelensky may give to any of these questions? Maybe not, but at least somebody would respond to it. I don't hear anybody talk about Ukrainian shit. Nobody even gives a fuck about Ukraine, or didn't seem to for more than a month or whatever after. And all of the scholars, the faux scholars, the fakes like the Mearsheimers or whatever that are all running around taking paychecks from the Kremlin, all the historians seem to back these weird notions of NATO expansionism and Russia feeling threatened on its borders. But there is no center-left establishment that defends the United States or U.S. foreign policy or the safety and security of Europe, because it's all white imperialists who are racist or whatever. So I don't know, like, maybe I've just missed it, but I haven't seen like a strong left-leaning defense of Ukraine from basically anybody, because the people that historically would defend that type of stuff would be Republicans, and the Republicans have lost their moral center or any righteousness about American foreign policy. So I just haven't seen that as much. Maybe they're out there somewhere. Maybe they have had those conversations, but I don't see it.
This will be after the war. Although there's something to brag about, this is proof. And this is a document, because if you want to get a candidacy for European Union, you must implement the appropriate number of reforms. We do.
Destin is basically the only one who's pointing out that there is massive Russian propaganda.
Do everything. During the war, we voted for many reforms, including anti-corruption, banking reforms.
I didn't know. I thought that these were the facts. And then I heard Destiny, and I realized, oh, there's no evidence behind this. This is just propaganda. So it's all lies. I've been fed lies. But I didn't hear this from anyone besides Destiny.
reforms, major reforms. We started a large privatization, and the war did not stop us. Yes, it slowed down, but we went through a lot.
When do you think you'll hold elections? Because for people who don't know, part of the martial law, elections were suspended in
Like these are
Martial law, in effect, okay, the Ukrainian constitution explicitly prohibits holding presidential and parliamentary elections during periods of martial law.
bullshit ass questions. These are. I hope he asks Putin that question. I will take back every bad thing I've ever said about Lex. If Lex is drilling Putin.
I heard somebody talk about the next interview Lex is going to have with Putin. I really I'm doubtful he's going to publish this interview, because Putin is going to end up looking so terrible, because Putin is such a mystic. He's going to talk about 800 years of mysticism. He's going to end up looking like a crazy person. It's going to be very interesting. I'm really curious. This is why you really need to give everyone a platform, including evil, because then evil ends up looking like idiots, and everyone sees them for what they are, idiots.
This hard on like, hey, so when are you gonna hold elections in your country? Like, like real ones, not where you win like 90+% of the vote. Like when are you gonna, like, bro, these are bullshit ass questions.
He executes his political opponents. He throws them out of windows.
When do you think you'll hold elections? Because for people who don't know, part of the martial law, elections were suspended and they were delayed and delayed and delayed. And I think the plan is in February.
I don't even think I think that's already baked into the Ukrainian constitution. Like that's already part of the rule of the country, is that during times of war, I don't think they hold elections. I don't even think Zelensky to change anything there.
Of 2025. So when do you think there'll be presidential elections in Ukraine?
When the war is over, bro. It's such an inappropriate question. Like that's so inappropriate.
Elections were postponed once. They were not delayed, to be clear. Elections did not take place in 2024. That year, first of all, we need to understand the Constitution. They were scheduled to be held in the spring of 2024. Due to martial law, under the Constitution, you cannot do this. These are the presidential elections. The parliamentary elections did not take place in the fall of 2024, according to the Constitution. Yes, there are security things.
It's good that this question is being asked. It's good. It's good that we're hearing this idiot Lex. This idiot Lex. It's like a baby. A baby. How can you be so dumb? This is such a he's such a miraculously dumb person. I don't know how you can be so dumb. So Lex is asking crazy questions, but it's good. It's good. I'm curious. It's good that he's asking like the most naive questions. Lex is the most naive person in the history of ever. It's good. It's a good thing.
There is the Constitution, but
he's giving Zelensky an opportunity to answer. It's fantastic.
There are security things. That is, everyone in Ukraine understands that this cannot be done until the war is over, or legislation needs to be changed. I believe that elections will take place immediately after the end of martial law. This is according to the law. Or members of the parliament need to get together and change legislation, which will be very difficult to do because society is against it. Why is society against it? It is understandable why. Because we want elections that we want to trust. 8.5 million people went abroad. The infrastructure needs to be created for these millions of people to vote. Millions of people in the occupied territories. I'm not even talking about the occupation of 2014. I'm talking about the occupation right now. What to do with these people? This is a difficult question. And one of the most unfair ones is how to vote without having a million soldiers. That is, it is impossible. We need to think about how to change the system if the elections are held in times of war, change the legislation, which should include changes to the voting system. To think about online voting. Everyone is afraid because of certain attacks, like cyber attacks.
Like from Russia.
And so on. But we need to think about it. I really think that it's possible that we can end the war in 2025.
In January. Oh, we've already agreed on it.
I would very much like to. I would very much like to.
After the war?
And
Friedman, Lex is pushing for elections. He's like, you have to have elections. You have to have I'm Jesus. I'm Jesus. We have to have elections. I'm Jesus. It's like he's in a war. There's massive propaganda. He just explained to you the list of issues. If nothing changes by then, you can't have elections. It's dangerous to have elections. Putin is gonna take over with his propaganda, with his attacks. No, when are we going to have elections? He just explained to you, you cannot have elections right now. Elections were scheduled, but then you had a war, so you cannot have elections until the war stops. Talk to Putin. The elections will be held when Putin stops fighting.
Immediately. Yes, immediately. In a year of the end of the war. It's a fact. Why? Because when martial law ends, you can immediately vote in parliament to hold elections. And then everyone will vote. Because there are no restrictive measures. And after they vote, I think elections can be held in 90 days. Something like that. Yes. And this means that immediately after the end of the war, elections may take place in 90 days.
Are you running for re-election?
Oh my God.
Even I don't know, really. I don't know. It is a very difficult question. It depends on how this war will finish.
These are good questions. These are good questions. It's good. It's good. Mr. Naive, Mr. Naivete he's a good interviewer. He's such a dummy dum-dum. Let him ask. Let him ask. What's the length of your toenails? Let him ask.
It depends on what people will want. Mostly it depends on people. First of all, and of course, my family. We had no time to speak about it with my family.
That's not terrible. No, fuck you. It is terrible. There is a propaganda line that Zelensky is a corrupt authoritarian leader that's just utilizing the war in order to indefinitely push off elections so they can further entrench his power.
That's what they say about Netanyahu. It's like it's like they accuse the only democracies in the region of being dictatorships. This is what the extreme right and the Putin shills keep telling us.
Power and further enrich himself and his family. That's what
It's the democracies that are the actual dictatorships, and it's the dictatorships that are the actual democracies. It's like everything is upside down.
these questions are aimed towards. Oh, are you going to run again? Are you going to try to keep being president? Oh, you enacted martial law to delay the elections. When are you going to finally fucking hold them? When are you going to finally fucking have elections again?
Exactly. Genius. I love. Sometimes destiny is perfect.
Oh, and you're gonna. Oh, really? Yeah. Like that's what this line of questioning is for.
And of course, didn't have a chance because we don't think about it.
Basically, Lex is accusing Zelensky of being a dictator and refusing to hold elections. That's basically, when are you going to hold elections? And Zelensky is like, well, the law says that we hold elections and under these conditions. It's like, it's very straightforward. It's very matter of fact. But Lex is like, when are you going to hold it? It's like Zelensky is holding back the elections.
But he won't ask them honestly. I wouldn't mind if Lex said, "Hey, some people accuse you of entrenching yourself and gaining more power." If he was at least honest about it, but he's phrasing them in the most propaganded way possible.
Something, there are a lot of not a lot of, but enough voices in Ukraine from politicians, opposition, and etc. about this. Yes, but we didn't think seriously with my family about it. So this is war. I mean, how to think about what will be after? It's very difficult, really very difficult.
If we look at the field of candidates, maybe you can give your opinion about the set of ideas you see out there, including your own, about the future of Ukraine. As I understand,
I love how Lex closes his eyes. He's like meditating as he's contemplating the question. Oh, I'm Jesus. I'm Jesus. I'm Jesus.
The candidates include Poroshenko, Zelensky.
Like you don't even know what the country is going to be in. Well, or what's going to be left of the country after the war. How could you even have this? How could you even go down this road? Like I don't even understand how you could expect him to even have a reasonable answer to any of these things. Are they going to have Crimea back? Are they going to have access to? Are they going to have any access to water at all? Are they going to how is Russia going to be sanctioned? What's the relationship going to be like with the EU or Russia? Like how do you even have this conversation?
Luzhny, Aristovich, Budanov, Klitschko, and many others. This is the internet speaking to me. What do you think of the space of ideas that these candidates are?
I think it can be. There can be even a bigger number of candidates. Yeah, I don't really know what will be. They have rights to participate if they want to. Yes, if they really want to and can.
Does Zelensky know the questions are snaky? I'm not sure because they're working through like 17 different languages here, and I don't know how aware Zelensky is of how corrupted the Western media environment is with all the Russian propaganda and all of the MAGA propaganda that exists. I just don't know. I don't know without being inundated with that type of media. I don't know.
They can go and do what they want, honestly. Most important is what are they doing now? I think that's all these people are the famous Ukrainian people, and it's important for them to do everything they can today, not begin any election campaign. I think this what can divide our people to have the elections, during the war. I mean, this make steps, speak about elections a lot, make a big mess about it. I think this is not right. That's why I'm not agreeing with some of these people, but they can, and I think that they can, and maybe some of them will, and it's okay. It's normal. It's very normal. Our system differs from the system in the United States. You have two parties, and the parties decide who will be the leader. And in Ukraine, everybody can participate. Let them.
You think you're going to win the debate? You versus Zelensky, Poroshenko, Aristovich, and you decide to run. Do you think you're going to win the debate? Or you're again focused on the war? And
I'm really focused.
This is what I mean also when I say like in the US, like everything is like a meme to us. Like we don't even like imagine going to like the Gaza Strip and you're talking to like Palestinians like moving between camps and you're like, so do you guys think you're going to vote for Hamas again? Or like what's up with that?
On the war, and I think the most difficult debate is what will be brought.
No, but these are good questions. It doesn't matter. These are good questions because he's so naive. It's good. Let him ask everything. And Zelensky is doing very well. Lex is making Zelensky look better than possible because Lex is such a naive buffoon.
To the table, and we spoke about it. It will be during the war. How to finish the war. I think that is my goal because it will be one of my
because Lex is a product of Putin propaganda that it and so Zelensky is disproving all this propaganda. It's fantastic.
Debates, and for any president who is in a war, of course. But I think this is my goal to win those debates, and the other things are not Not for today.
As I said, the dream I have is it's a historic opportunity.
The dream. I'm Jesus. I am Jesus. I am Jesus. I am Jesus. It's me, Jesus. It's me, Jesus. I have a dream. I have a dream. I'm Jesus.
To make peace, to make lasting.
I make peace. I make peace. One person murders everybody. Now we're going to have peace between everybody. Even though the guy murdered everybody around, we're going to have peace. We're going to have peace. We don't care about justice. No, justice. No, no, no. We want peace. We forget about disincentivizing evil. No, 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 no. We just want to have peace. And the next day, he's going to murder the rest of us. Yeah, but then we'll have peace. What an idiot. What a buffoon. What a baby. What a child. It's like we need peace and love. Peace and love. So says Jesus.
Peace soon. So I'm glad you're
Peace soon. Peace soon.
focused on that. Let me ask a question about
What about war crimes? What about war crimes? Are we going to disincentivize war crimes, or is that fine? Are we fine with having war crimes? Because look, if you're fine with having war crimes, listen, I want to have my share of war crimes too. We all do. Then we're going to have a great civilization when everyone commits war crimes.
that a lot of people in the United States think about.
What a buffoon with his suit and tie, a black tie. Oh, I am Jesus with a short haircut.
And I care a lot about the future of Ukraine. It's corruption. This is something you have.
And he's talking with his hand. I care about the future. I care. I care so much. I care. My heart. My heart.
Cared a lot about for a long time. You won the president.
This is, oh my God, this is such bullshit. I'm so,
How do you not lose your mind?
Israel-Palestine is an easier conflict, in my opinion, because
How do you not lose your mind watching? Look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, I am Jesus. Yes, hello.
Good day, sir.
Hey,
How you doing?
hey, Siege, what's up?
I'm doing very well, sir. How about yourself?
I'm okay. Watching Lex Friedman interviewing Zelensky.
Ooh. Zelensky, the Jew.
Why do you care that he's a Jew?
It's very important to look at people's backgrounds whenever they get power.
Why?
That's when you're gonna see their interests.
Why? Why do you
Well,
say
for
that?
example, did you know BlackRock? They're buying a whole lot of land in Ukraine right now.
Look, before we
Yes,
get to
sir.
BlackRock, I'll let you talk about BlackRock, but like, why do you care? Like, right, when you talk to like it, like if you talk to a mathematician, right, you don't care that he is, I don't know, a mass murderer, right? When you talk to a mathematician, the question is his math correct or not? It's not. Nothing else matters. The question is a politician.
Yeah, but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
the problem is the Jews are very famous for subverting humanity. Now,
They're
if
famous
a
for
mathematician
subverting
says,
what?
I'm Jewish,
Wait, subverting what?
humanity.
Hmm. But let's talk about
Yeah.
Zelensky. Well, like Zelensky is fighting, to save Ukraine. He's risking his life. He could have run away. They offered him to run away and hide, and he said, "No, I'm going to stay and defend Ukraine. I'm not going to run away. I'm not a coward."
Yes. Yes.
What do you mean, yes? Like,
Yeah, that's what he did. I'm not denying what you're saying.
so I respect that. That's impressive. That's, he's showing courage.
Yes.
What do you mean, yes? I mean,
I'm agreeing with you when I say yes.
yeah.
You don't have to ask me what do I mean.
No, so it's like that's what's important. Zelensky is, he's one of the good guys. He's a good
Oh
guy.
yeah?
I think so. You tell me. Like,
Well, if he was, he wouldn't let BlackRock buy land in his country.
why not? What's just? I would say. Okay, why do you say that? Let's hear your argument. Are you?
Let Jewish multi-billionaires buy
Why?
land in your country
Why is
suddenly,
it?
you know?
Why is
No,
it?
he shouldn't.
Why is it important that it's Jews? Why do you care? Why is it important?
Well, how do you call them? Man, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Like every time I'm talking to people like you, I gotta repeat myself 10 times.
So
Didn't you hear what I said first? And if yes, why do you keep asking me what do I mean by it?
yeah, but I told you, like when you talk to a politician or a financier, whatever, like like an investor comes into your country and wants to purchase something. So you look at the fundamentals. You don't care he's Jewish, not Jewish. Who cares? You look at, is this going to be beneficial for me or is it going to be bad for me? What are you, Jewish, not Jewish? Who cares? Why do you care? Like the bottom line is it good or bad? Am I going to, is it good for me or bad for me? No?
Well, that is bad. You're gonna let a multi-billionaire company now, what do you call it, profit of your people. You can't honestly wish the best for your people, yet accept these people coming in and
So that's a different question. So it's regardless of the Jewish. So you're saying you don't want, so if I, so let me ask you this. So is it good if I buy stocks in the Ukrainian ETF? Let's say there is a Ukrainian, ETF, like an index fund that, invests in the Ukrainian economy, right? So when I buy stocks in this ETF, I'm buying stocks in the Ukrainian economy. The Ukrainian economy, I become a part a partner owner in the Ukrainian economy. My dollars, they go into the Ukrainian economy, but I get a piece of paper that says that now I'm part owner of the Ukrainian economy. So you don't think what you're
Mhm.
you're against me buying a part of the Ukrainian economy?
Not you. You're not a Jewish multi-billionaire.
Why does it matter if I am or
You're not
not?
trying to own everything.
What's
Because when you own all these
Mhm.
companies and so much land, what do you
Mhm.
have? Power. You have the saying, you say what goes and what goes not. A Jew,
Okay.
let's say, buys 25% of Ukrainians' land. On that 25%,
Mhm.
there are going to be a whole lot of nationalists for Ukraine. They want only Ukrainians and Europeans in Ukraine. No Jews, no Russians, no nothing. Then BlackRock is going to come in and say, no, I own that land, boy. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to call SWAT, they're going to call the police, they're going to escort those nationalists out of to jail because
What?
that's their land. So where are they going to go?
Wait. I didn't understand.
If I
So
own,
no,
let's say,
speak slower. Speak
um,
slower. I missed a few words that you said. Yeah, go ahead.
I
oh
was
my lord, man! Why does it have to be so fucking hard to talk nowadays? Like, do
Just
you
speak
listen to me
slower.
when I'm talking?
No,
Okay,
I missed
okay,
a few
okay, okay,
words.
okay. Maybe I'm overreacting. Anyway, yes. So,
in fact,
what?
being not vegan is evil.
Mm,
Okay, sure thing, nigga. Anyway, so when a multi-billionaire comes in, okay, he buys 25% of the land of a country. He say, well, this is my part. I own this now. What I say goes. Okay, he's the man. It
mhm.
doesn't matter if there's a president or whatnot.
Is
If
what?
you go
There's a
and buy
what?
a
I miss.
block,
Yeah, I
that's your
don't know.
block.
I miss words. Like you
Yeah,
have
can you
to
let me fucking talk, man, so I can explain to you?
speak slower.
You keep
I miss words.
no, I'm like, fuck this, man. I'm sorry, bro, but I can't do this, man.
Just speak slower. Just speak slower. I miss words when you speak fast. I just miss words, and then I don't know what you're saying. Just speak like clearer, slower. I'm not. I'm interested in what you have to say. I'm trying to understand your position.
If a billionaire
Yes.
comes into a place
Yeah. Mhm.
and buys the place,
Okay.
what he says goes. He is the boss.
Okay.
If the millionaire
Yeah.
buys your block
Okay.
and you are against this billionaire,
Wait.
he calls the cops,
What?
tells them you bad,
Wait.
tells them you gotta go.
Wait.
Cops come to you.
What do you mean?
Go. UL.
I
Understand?
no.
Was
I
that
I
too,
had
too fast again?
I kept saying I don't understand, and you kept steamrolling me. So that's like, yeah, that's yeah. That's how you win a debate. You win a debate by steamrolling everyone and leaving. That's an L, of course, because of course it is. Wait, what? God is literally not doing. Who is this guy? Hmm. What's going on? That is to be outside. It's not God Almighty. Islam. I don't know what he wants. What is your question? It is
There are horrible actors on both sides, in my opinion. Not in my opinion. Fuck that. That's objective fucking fact. There are horrible actors on both sides of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So I can always feel at least a little good that at least no matter who gets fucked over, at least I know somebody bad is getting fucked over at the end of the day.
There's horrible actors on both sides. I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like Ukraine, Russia is so much harder because they're like I've gone on before on this, but there's so much like nobility in the narrative of an ex-satellite Eastern European country trying to join the European Union, trying to fix all of its corruption problems and all of this. Like it's so much clearer. And Russia, that is like the bully country, the bad guy country with the bad guy leader who engages in the bad guy tactics. And it's a much clearer right and wrong in this case. And so to hear somebody just be so fucking
Yes, I agree with Destiny that in Israel it's a bigger mess, but in Ukraine, yeah, it's if that's the story. I didn't even know that Ukraine is trying to join the UN. I mean, the UN, no, the EU. That would be well, if Ukraine is not part of the EU, then of course it should join the EU and it should join NATO. It should do whatever it wants as soon as possible.
insanely biased towards it. And to do such a partisan propaganda drive-by hit piece is just so disgusting to me.
Future of Ukraine is corruption. This is something.
Ukraine corruption. That's all he's got. Ukraine corruption. Ukraine corruption. Ukraine corruption. Ukraine corruption. That's all you got. Ukraine corruption.
Remember, corruption is so corruption. Fuck. Now I should have just gone back. I don't remember if I pointed all these out before. I'm just so used to hearing them. These are all of the bullshit talking points. Ukraine is super corrupt. Zelensky is super corrupt. They were corrupt before. They're probably going to be corrupt after. They're banning like the Russian language because Zelensky's trying to enrich himself. His wife is buying dresses in New York. They're stealing U.S. money. Remember all the corruption. The U.S. money is going to Ukraine, and all the companies and the oligarchs are stealing it there and funneling it to Zelensky and all his oligarchs. Like, all of this is like Russian propaganda talking about. These are all bullshit questions.
You have cared a lot about for a long time. You won the presidency 2019 in big part your message of fighting corruption. But there's a lot of accusations that during war, I mentioned $9 trillion.
He's talking with his hands and with his eyebrows and with his forehead. Oh, I'm Jesus. Don't forget I'm Jesus. Never forget I'm Jesus.
In the United States, war breeds corruption. So can you speak?
War breeds corruption. Corruption. Ukraine is corrupt. Ukraine is corrupt. Ukraine is corrupt.
To that, how you have been fighting corruption, and you can respond to the accusations that has been
Is he? What is he talking about? Why would you say Ukraine is corrupt? Could you show us some index? Why is everybody keep saying Ukraine is corrupt? Is Ukraine corrupt more than any other place in the world?
And corruption in Ukraine.
Corruption, and he's accusing Zelensky basically.
Also, and again, and I'm going to be harsh here, okay? Because I'm going to be very harsh here because it's not acceptable for you to even present a broad claim as a question. You've said you've read countless books. I don't think he's read a single one, and you've expertised yourself in that way, and you claim to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Like Lex, he reads and he reads and he reads and he reads, and he ends up being the dumbest person ever in the history of all of evers. How can you be so dumb? How? It's like miraculous.
Albeit not that well, at least one language from the region. You claim to have had family from here. And now you are having a conversation with a world leader here who's involved in this conflict. It can't be that the questions sound like they're from Twitter. How do you respond to claims of corruption? Which claim?
Corruption.
What corruption? This is a Twitter.
It's like if I ever had a conversation with Lex, all I'm going to ask him is about the Lex corruption. Lex, but I know you hate corruption, but how do you deal with accusations of corruption? How do you deal with accusations of corruption? Like I know you're against corruption, but what do you have to say about corruption? Like, how are you going to deal with all the accusations of the corruption? People are saying, there's a lot of corruption around you. Like, how are you going to deal with it? Like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours of just that.
This is a question my mom or dad would ask.
It's like, they're barely surviving. They're under attack. And this little baby, he has questions. So I know you don't like corruption, but everyone accuses Ukraine is very corrupt. They're barely surviving. They're being demolished. They're being attacked. They're being murdered. So, people are accusing you of corruption.
Cannot be the case. You've expertised yourself too much here, and this conversation is too current and important. This isn't a retrospective, and this isn't hypothetical. This is a leader of a country that is currently in war. It can't be this way. This is insane.
You have been fighting corruption, and can you respond to the accusations?
It's like not a single question about the military. There's a war going on. Like, what's it like to be in a war? Like, you used to just be a president of a country. Now you're like a general. Like you're fighting to survive. You're risking your life. Like, let's talk about what's important. The corruption. But what about the corruption?
There has been corruption in Ukraine.
It's very simple. First of all,
what a loser. How could this guy have any audience?
we really have a very sophisticated anti-corruption system. Sophisticated not in the sense that it's difficult to understand, but in that it really consists of many elements. It's the most sophisticated in all of Europe. This is another requirement of the European Union. It was a requirement for Ukraine. And for many years, Ukraine was not trusted. I want to tell you that under me, we all voted for bills, other anti-corruption reforms, almost all reforms, and all anti-corruption bodies today are independent. They work as requested. I still believe that they are not perfect yet. There are many issues. There is a judicial system, but also a judicial reform that our partners, the United States plus the EU, demanded from us. This is all written out. This is written out in specific laws, in specific decrees, in specific decisions. We did this. We've done 99% of this. If something has not been done, it means that it is on the way. But in principle, all this exists, and there is no such system as we have in Europe. To say that we do not have corruption would be lying. We just talk about it openly. We are genuinely fighting against it.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Zelensky's coming out shining like a star, like a superstar.
Look, we have sitting in our prison, Ihor Kolomoisky, who is
I don't know. Maybe Lex wants Zelensky to look really terrific. Maybe that's his plan. I don't know.
Influential Ukrainian oligarch since independence. And no one could do anything about him. The United States of America wanted to have Kolomoisky, and they went to great lengths because of money.
I mean, Zelensky is not getting upset. That means he thinks that Lex is setting him up for a dunk.
Laundering, etc. There are criminal cases in the United States, I think in Delaware, something like that. Neither Europe could do anything about it. That is, we did a lot with oligarchs. Russian oligarchs, sanctions were imposed. They were thrown out. Some of them fled the state, but they're all under sanctions. We exchanged some of them for our soldiers, such as Medvedchuk, to whose daughter Putin is godfather. That is, we fought against the strongest influential oligarchs, which are and were in Ukraine, and we eliminated a lot of corruption. Of course, corruption exists in everyday life. It exists. But institutionally, I'm sure that Ukraine will overcome all this. This takes a little time. I would say honestly that, listen, what we call corruption, and in some state of the world is called lobbyism. But this does not mean that there is no corruption there. Let's take the aid you mentioned during the war. First of all, we have no money. We have no money except for the war.
Yes, hello.
Veganism is like a moral baseline for people.
Veganism is a moral baseline?
Yeah.
What's your definition of veganism?
Not killing animals.
Hey, how's it
Okay,
going, Mr. Slave?
not.
Is this the same Mr. Slave? Have you done debates before in the past while you were wearing a diaper and a leash?
Yeah, that's me. A
Did you
diaper and a
debate
leash.
Andrew? Did you debate Andrew Wilson?
Yeah, I mopped the floor with his face and the very few words that I
Oh
had.
no, you got fucking smashed, dude. That was humiliating.
Yeah, of course.
But you're into that, so that's fine. All right, I'm out of here.
Yeah. So you came in to just
Yeah,
claim
shut up, fag.
that I lost the debate, and when I'm gonna explain to you that actually I won the debate, that's when you're skipping town because, of course. Come back. When was this? 5. This is. What do you want?
We received weapons from the United States of America, from Europe. If we take, for example, money from the United States of America, during all this time of the war, around 177 billion have been voted for or decided upon. 177 billion. Let's be honest, we have not received half of this money. The second point, which is very important, just as an example, is the corruption.
I don't think the translation here is rough. I don't know what he's saying in. I don't know if he's speaking original English or Ukrainian, but like it's not all cash money, right? He could be saying value or worth of whatever. But
Around 177 billion have been voted for or decided upon. 177 billion. Let's be honest, we have not received half of this money. The second point, which is very important, just as an example, is the corruption. The first question, whose corruption? This is the second. Here is just one small example for you. When the United States began to transfer us weapons, it was American money, but American weapons. Money for these weapons. As a president, I had cargo jets. Not in Ukraine because of the war. We moved them very quickly to Europe. We had cargo. We have good cargo fleet. Very good. Because of Antonov. So I asked.
Yeah, they destroyed the Antonov.
American side.
The Russians bombed the Antonov right away.
I mean, the opportunity because our jets are at another. Yeah.
I think it's also saying that of that promised cash involved, it's not even given yet. Usually it's promised, maybe because it hasn't released it. That's possible, yeah.
And I asked America to give me the opportunity to use our jets for transfer, not to pay a lot. To whom? To your companies, to American companies. No, I didn't get this opportunity. My jets stayed put. And the United States jets, cargo jets, move these weapons. But everywhere you have to spend money. So we could get more weapons, but we have to pay for this very expensive fleet. My question, is this corruption or not? Or lobbyism? What is it?
You mean corruption on the part of the U.S. companies?
Yes, making such decisions.
Yes, I got it.
The lobbying for such decisions involves some companies that make these decisions. But I can't be open about it, and I couldn't speak loudly about it. I didn't want, nor did I intend to cause any scandals to arise, because otherwise you can freeze the support, and that's it. And that's why when we talk about corruption, we must ask who is involved. If we had 177, and if we get the half, where's the half? If you will find the second half, you will find corruption.
My guess is when it comes to the release of congressional aid or whatever, it probably happens in stages and it's not all made available immediately is my guess. One of the things is also like super mindfucky that you have to imagine is that like the president that's taking over in the White House in Washington is the same guy that tried to extort you a few years ago in order to get you to lie about investigations into his political opponent's son. That's also like a whole macro layer that's being like Zelensky has a lot of ground to make up because Trump and Giuliani were begging him to engage in like political malfeasance basically in order to get him to win the 2020 election.
It's a perception of corruption. People like Donald Trump and Elon Musk really care about fighting corruption.
Elon Musk. Why are you bringing up Elon Musk? This guy is so weird.
What can you say to them to gain their trust that the money is going towards this fight for freedom, towards the war effort?
Them? Donald Trump and Elon Musk? Them? There's like two people running the United States?
People like Donald Trump and Elon Musk really care about fighting corruption.
Why? Who the fuck is Elon Musk? Why the fuck are we even bringing him?
Oh my God. Lex is such a bizarre person. Jesus.
If you will find the second half, you will find corruption.
There is a perception of corruption. People like Donald Trump and Elon Musk really care about fighting corruption. What can you say to them to gain their trust that the money is going towards this?
Again with the corruption? Corruption. Is he going to talk about anything besides corruption?
Fight for freedom, towards the war effort.
In most cases, we did not receive money, we received weapons. And where we saw risks that something could be a weapon, we would slap everyone on the wrist.
Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine, war, peace, Putin, Trump, NATO, and freedom. Where's most of the conversation was about corruption. Where's it should be corruption. That's all it should be. That's all that you're talking about.
And believe me, this is not only about Ukraine. On the supply side.
Yes. Elo.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Doing good.
Mhm.
Watering the plants, and now I'm gonna cook.
That's good. That's good. Are you in
Mm.
Germany?
I am not in Germany. I am probably in the same time zone, though.
Hmm.
But that is obscure, isn't it?
It's obscure?
Obscure, yeah, because there's a lot of countries that are in the same time zone as Germany. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. No, but your accent,
So vegan equals evil. Yeah,
yeah,
my accent.
your accent is German, no?
German. I don't think so. I don't think
Oh,
so,
you're
though.
Hungarian.
Not sure now. No, I'm dumb. Hungarian. Um, no, as well. Well, guess which continent I belong to anyway.
Well, I think Europe, no?
Fortunate. Okay, not fortunately nor unfortunately, but nope. I'm not from Europe.
So you're from Africa?
I'm also not from Africa, but I am in Africa right now. South Africa, actually.
You're in South Africa?
Yeah, but I
Hmm.
moved here, and I've been here for only 3 years so far.
Hmm. Why did you move to South Africa?
Family.
Your family is in South Africa?
My mom specifically with my stepfather, who is a white South African.
But originally, okay, are you Swedish?
Like I said, not anywhere in Europe.
Oh,
So that would leave America or Asia. And I'm just gonna say I am from Asia.
oh, Singapore?
Oh, I kind of cloaked my accent, so it's not gonna be. It's not easy to find, to figure out which one am I. But I'm a Filipino.
Oh, very nice. That's good. Are there?
So vegan equals evil.
Yeah, yeah. What are you vegan?
Vegetarian.
Hmm. Why are you vegetarian?
On top of just taking all of the meat out of my diet for the sake of not getting the negatives of the diet.
Hmm.
I'm also following the Levitical laws, but I think the Levitical laws go, yeah, they actually have a tolerance for meat eating rather. But I'm just sticking with pre-flood diet. But that's the biblical perspective on why I choose to not eat meat because there's no need for it. That's just it. It's not. I'll only consume meat
But
if it's an emergency.
there's no
Like
need,
I can't have. Huh?
right? But there's no need to be alive. So if you're gonna go by need, then you can just stop living. You don't need to be alive. There's no need to be alive. There's no need for anyone to be alive, right? It's nothing to do. Nothing
I
to.
do.
What do you mean? You said you don't need to eat meat, but like no one needs to
Yeah,
be. No
I don't
one
need to eat
needs.
meat.
No one needs to be alive. You don't need to be alive. So
It's
according
not the
to you,
same line of thought.
what do you mean? If you care about what you need, you only do what you need to do. Well, you don't need to be alive. You don't need to eat. You don't need to be alive.
It's definitely not the same line of thought,
What do you
but
mean?
sure.
Wait, what do you mean? It's
There's a difference, okay? So the
Mhm,
thinking of you don't need to eat meat, it means you don't need. It means it's
mhm.
not a necessity. It
It's
means
I
you
I
don't have to eat meat to
I
live,
agree. I
to
agree.
continue on living.
I agree. I don't need to do many things, and I don't need to live. I live because I enjoy living, not because I need to live. I don't need to live. No one needs to live. Like some people, you could say,
There is a reason to live. Oh, by the way, are you Christian or no?
I don't know, I'm an atheist.
Ah, I see. I see. Well, I was an atheist for also 1 year and a half till I realized with my own research, everything I believe right now is a bogus. So went back to the truth.
Went back to what?
It's over here, the peeler. The truth.
The truth?
Yes. Yeah, I'm just very blunt right now with my line of speaking because I've looked and looked and looked, searching for what is the truth. I have come about realizing what is the truth. The truth is, I was born and raised Roman Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
and there's many problems with that church. In fact, it's actually the beast system that the Bible is talking about. Many people are not aware of it, but thankfully, the people that started Protestantism knew that it was the case. Then they made their charges, started Protestantism. Protestants nowadays are not even Protestants because they don't recognize what the Protestant name is for. That means you're protesting against Roman Catholicism. And the whole point of it all is eventually it's all about recognizing what is the truth. And before I just believed, God is not even real. Science can disprove everything that is God. It doesn't make sense to believe that there's a God that created the whole universe in 6 days. That's a bogus. That's what I thought. Eventually, later on, the evolution theory started to become a lie, and I've seen the issues, way too many issues to say evolution is not a. There's a reason why it's still classified as a theory because it can't be proven a fact. On top of it all,
Wait,
the historical
wait,
sources, all of the evidences that I've been seeing
wait,
point to a historical Jesus.
wait.
And yeah, it's many things.
Okay. Look, I gotta go. I sent you a friend request, so we'll talk.
Sure.
So you'll find me here. I'll be back later, and we can continue talking if you want.
Sure.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Bye.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.
God bless. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Stay safe.
You too. All right, I gotta go. I'll be back later.